Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome all of you back to the official 23rd character in this series of Super Smash Bros. 5 Newcomer Ideas, Newcomer Speculation, Newcomer Predictions. As I mentioned in the video about Rivali, today's character is going to be the third-party sensation, one of the remaining mascot characters from the 90s, has yet to be concluded as a third-party character in Smash Brothers, Rayman. Now, Rayman was heavily speculated for the last Smash Bros. Game, Smash Bros. 4 on the Wii U and on the 3DS. There was even a rumor that went around that he was in the game. There was leaks, real fake leaks, where they had the fact that people can make leaks that good is actually really freaking interesting. It was it looks so real, but he wasn't in the game, whether on the disc or as a DLC character. He did get a trophy, though, so that's the weirdest thing, that they include a third-party character that was a trophy and didn't have anything else in the game. But now we're on the Smash Bros. 5. We're on to the new one, Nintendo Switch, the end of 2018. And his chances of being in Smash Bros. Are still... He's still in the running, actually, and that's the reason why I want to include him on this list, on this series of videos. I did include them when they did the Smash ballot back in 2014-ish range, when I did that 80 newcomer idea characters for the Smash ballot. And he was included on that, so I want to include him on this because he's still in the running, he's still eligible, and he still would make a really good third party to include in the game. And just like all the past characters, and future characters on this list as well, 3 separate categories. Why does the character make sense to Smash Brothers? What would be some moveset ideas I could think of for Rayman? And percentage chance I could see Rayman getting into the new Super Smash Bros. Game on the Nintendo Switch. So let's start with the first category. Why do I feel Rayman still makes sense to be included in Smash Bros. Like at all? You know, and it's because he's an iconic major mascot character in the third party realm. He's like Pac-Man, he's like Mega Man, he's like all these mascot, third party characters that have come out since the 80s and the 90s, that kind of died out in the early 2000s. A mascot third party. He's a major third party that's been around since the 90s, since the likes of the Saturn and the PlayStation 1, and has had numerous games on Nintendo. Like Rayman 2 on the N64, Rayman 3, there's been Origins and Legends lately. There's the Rabbids series, which is technically a spin-off of Rayman. And, that's still going strong on Nintendo, as well as, like I said, Origins and Legends, which both have Nintendo Wii/Wii U/Switch, versions for those games. And, he still has a huge presence on Nintendo, and has had a huge presence on Nintendo since the 90s. He is a third-party character that is as close to Nintendo as some of the Nintendo characters are. And it's like, that's why he would make sense to still be in, because he has a large iconic status, like a long time iconic status since the 90s. He's been around long enough to be super popular. He's requested a lot, which, like I said, popularity and demand, I don't really heavily rely on, but it's still there as a secondary thing to relevancy, closest to Nintendo, push from Nintendo, popular, like push relevancy, recency, and stuff like that, which he has both of those. He's super popular, super requested. He's still super relevant. He's a long-standing third-party character, and they're going for a lot of iconic ones from the 80s and the 90s. We've gotten Ryu, we've gotten Cloud and Snake before, and Sonic and Mega Man, and all that stuff. He is a long-time iconic third-party character that fits right into the boat with them. He's super close to Nintendo. Mostly all the games from his series have been on Nintendo. The spin-off series, Rabbids, is pretty much exclusive for the most part to Nintendo. And that's about it. Super popular, super requested, major third-party character that's been around for a long time, has had many games on Nintendo, and he's that one of those last few close, characters to Nintendo, the last mascot characters during that era, during the 90s, late 80s to early 2000s range, which is like super mascot. Everyone was trying to create the next Mario and next Sonic and everything. So he was in that category, like on this, the Sega systems, on Nintendo systems, on PlayStation. And like I said, close to Nintendo, major third party that fits in with Sonic and Mega Man. So there you go. That's the reasons why he's still around. He's still getting new games. For a fact the Switch, whatever the next Rayman game eventually comes out, that's the sequel to Legends, it's going to be on the Switch because Ubisoft is a fairly big supporter of Nintendo. So, and that series is very popular on Nintendo. So, there you go. Second category, moveset ideas. Now, I kind of had to look him up a little bit more because I mean, I am a fan of the Rayman series, but I've only played the series so little, so I don't really know too much about his powers besides his punching rocket arms. Like, you know how he has no arms, his hands, he has rocket hands. He has no arms or legs. I played like the original on the PlayStation. I played 2 and 3 a little bit here and there, and then some of Origins and maybe the Rabbids stuff a little bit here and there, and little games here and there. But I've never really truly played Rayman, so I really had to do some research for him because I'm not super familiar with Rayman all that much. But I would use his smash attacks, you know, to use his fists, his rocket fists, shooting his hands out. You can maybe charge it up, and if you just you know, repeatedly press it, just a single punch, maybe it'll go a small distance. But if you charge it up, he'll probably throw it at least medium range, so he can attack a distance from, you know, attack an opponent from a distance. And he still uses his kicks. He sometimes does, you know, kick and everything. So little kicks, little leg sweeps and stuff like that, like a smash attack. So he can trip opponents by sweeping the leg and kicking them down. He's a major punching character, so that's why I want his smash attacks to be mainly the punching. He could jab, punch, do uppercuts, shoot his fist out like rockets, maybe do a repeat, like do a punch combo, you know, something like that. Just, you know, focus on him punching with a little bit of kicking, and that would be his smash attacks. For his specials, this is what I really had to look it up because, like I said, I'm not super familiar with besides like some of the characters in the series and some of the little things he does. I know he has the helicopter hair. That'll be a saving grace. You know, when he falls off the stage, up B, up special. He goes like, and he goes up the stage. If anyone's below him, like I said with Rivali's Gale, he flies into them and hurts them. It could be a way of moving around the stage. It could be a way of saving yourself if you're falling off the stage and hurting someone. Maybe you can choose a direction or something. I don't know. I would say him using his abilities from the game, like his weapons and his items and his abilities from the game. There's the lockjaw, the glue bomb, which maybe if you throw that, it blows up, and maybe it can stick an opponent to that section for like 5 seconds, so he can just go in there and beam up a little bit so they can't move. The buzz rocket, which would be a distance attack, and then he has a plunger gun, which is mostly from the Rabbids games, and I do think some of the Rabbids stuff will kind of get into his moveset. The Rabbids I would focus on mostly being like an assist trophy and some sort of extra stage hazard or something. I would not really make the Rabbids a playable character, although I will say they're going to be later on down this list. At least that one, or at least a plain one, and maybe one of the ones from Mario Kingdom Rabbids battle thing. So that, I'm kind of spoiling a future character I'm going to talk about. But yeah, stuff like that, and maybe he can use like and he can summon his allies like, you know, Barbara. Maybe she can come in and do like an axe thing, or maybe he can at least use it because that might be cheap if he brings them in. They can attack or something, like they just come in for 5 seconds and just do a little slash attack. Maybe summon Barbara's axe, summon Glowbox, Murphy. I mean, sorry. You know, but the fairy characters, there's numerous fairy characters that give him his abilities. Maybe when he does a certain magical ability he gets from them, they kind of appear in the background, kind of like as a, I'm giving you this ability to do, and they just vanish in like 5 seconds after you just do it. Like it's a quick like in and out kind of thing. I don't know. It's like I know some of the things he does, but I had to do research on really what he is truly. But I'd focus on the helicopter hair and summoning some of his friends, maybe come in and do a little quick like smack attack or something, or some like little like axe attack from Barbara, or maybe he summons the abilities they've done, or maybe like some sort of power from them, and then does stuff like the lockjaw and the glue bomb and the plunger gun and the buzz rocket. And then on to the final smash. This is what I really had to look up. I kind of was looking up moveset ideas people mentioned for like Smash 4, because I've seen numerous characters speculated, especially by this character, this person on DeviantArt called Evil Luigi. I think he does a lot of these artworks and moveset ideas, and I think it's really freaking cool. I kind of looked at his a little bit and looked at other ones online just to kind of see like what kind of final smash was people giving him, and they always gave him the mosquito, which I do remember from the original game, as well as a few of the ones afterwards. So he rides in on the mosquito, some sort of mosquito flying attack. Think of it like Supersonic, except not as like, fast. Supersonic goes flying around the stage. He just like, you can just attack people with the mosquito as you're riding it. That'd be his final smash. I think it'd be kind of cool, kind of different. It'll be similar to some final smashes we have, but not too similar where it's like a clone, but it goes off the idea of you being able to control them and attack opponents, flying on the mosquito and attacking people. I think that'd be kind of cool, and it does kind of draw back to like the original game, because I do recall those very much being major enemies and characters in the original one and some of the ones after. So it's a throwback to like classic Rayman. That's his moveset. Now onto the percentage chance. I think he's one of the higher percentage chances characters of, for third parties to get in this game. I don't think he's the most highest one, but I think he has a very good chance. He's like up there in the higher category, with some of the characters I mentioned before and some of the characters I mentioned afterwards. I'm giving him an 85%. He's not a lock-in, he's not a guarantee, but he's a very likely, and I throw him into the same category. I throw like the likes of Bomberman, Shovel Knight, Shantae, and a few other characters that are going to come further on down this list. Like, there's certain third-party characters I think are very likely. There's certain third-party characters that I think have very good chances now that we have Mega Man out of the way and Sonic out of the way and stuff like that, and they've thrown characters like Ryu and Cloud and Bayonetta. There's certain third-party characters that are just waiting at the door. Like, there's a lineup of third parties, and there's like a good selection, like 5 to 8, I think have very good chances to be in, and I think he's one of them. So there you go. He's in that category with like a Crash Bandicoot and Bomberman and Shantae, Shovel Knight, stuff like that. So there you go. So that's my video for Rayman for Smash Bros. 5. Put in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys agree with my reasons why he should be in? What reasons do you think he should be in? Do you think he makes sense? What about my 85% chance? Do you think it makes sense for him? Do you agree with it? Yada, yada, yada. Do you see it higher or lower? What moveset would you give him? What about my moveset ideas? What do you guys think? And that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked this video about Rayman for Smash Brothers. And 24th character is coming up, and it's going to be the first retro character on this list, the first retro character, and one that everyone wanted to see in Smash Brothers 4, the samurai himself, Takamaru. So until then, see you all later. Bye.